Chapter 3. Sifting for Gold in a River of Clicks. How to Find Udimi Sellers Who Actually Deliver. The first time I opened Udimy's Find Sellers tab, I felt like a kid handed his grandma's bingo card numbers everywhere. Everyone swearing they're lucky, and I didn't know whether to shout B12 or sprint for the exit. 20 minutes in, caffeine dripping through my veins, I realized if I didn't invent a vetting routine, I'd torch my budget quicker than a politician spends campaign funds. This chapter is that routine, refined through wins, faceplants, and one legendary vendor who somehow sent me clicks from Antarctica. A long story involving a VPN farm. A quick note on mindset: yes, it matters. Most folks treat vendor shopping like they're picking socks. Grab the brightest color and hope it doesn't stink. I treat it like interviewing a babysitter. You're trusting this person with your reputation, your ad dollars, and the first handshake with your future customers. Guard your brand the way you'd guard a toddler holding a lit sparkler. Peeking under the Udimi hood. Before we start stalking profiles, you need to know what data Udimi logs and why that matters. The platform tracks unique clicks versus raw clicks. Raw is everything. Unique is the stuff that counts. Tier 1 percentages. Higher usually means deeper wallets. Delivery timeline. How fast the seller turns on the fire hose. Buyer feedback. Star rating, a got sales toggle, and public comments. Each metric is a breadcrumb. The trail either leads to Narnia, profit, or to, well, a landfill of bot traffic. Your job is to follow the right crumbs. The myth of the 1,000 click vendor. Every beginner I coach wants big sellers because bigger feels safer. Newsflash, size means nothing if the clicks land like wet confetti. Some of my most profitable traffic came from one-person email lists with 15,000 subscribers and a nerdy obsession with cryptocurrency leads. Their audience matched my offer like hot sauce on wings. Rule of thumb, ignore total traffic volume until the quality boxes are ticked. We'll tick them now. Decoding 5 storytelling metrics. Got sales percentage. The shiny badge that makes rookie buyers drool. If you see 50% or higher, breathe. Dig deeper. Ask, what offer categories do those sales come from? I discovered a seller with 60% sales, but nearly all were $1 trials to a crypto faucet. My $99 webinar ticket? Crickets. Average order size versus repeat buyers. A modest 150 click average paired with many repeat buyers often screams consistent ROI. Meanwhile, a vendor pushing 5,000 click bookings, but only one repeat buyer looks like a firework. Loud, bright, gone. Price fluctuations. Sudden price dumps suggest desperation or a freshly burned list. If a seller drops from 90 cents to 49 cents overnight, something's up. Politely ask what changed. If the answer is, I optimized my funnel, run. Delivery curve. Udimy's click graph shows minutes-by-minute delivery. Smooth ramp, real humans. Spiky cliffs, likely a rotator or traffic exchange. Picture a cardiogram. Healthy hearts have rhythm. Unhealthy ones flatline or spike. Tier 1 mix versus niche. 95% US clicks don't matter if you're marketing a Spanish keto cookbook. Match geography, language, and spending power to your offer. The chat before cash protocol. I never book without a quick conversation. Think Tinder pre-date texting. If they can't string 2 sentences together, the dinner will be awkward. My go-to opener looks like this: steal it, tweak it, send it. Hey, name, I'm sending a side hustle funnel. This will be an intro PDF for a $27 video course to English-speaking audiences. Can you share your average opt-in and sale rate for similar offers? Also, okay to start with 250 clicks dripping over 48 hours? Happy to leave detailed feedback if we hit 35% opt-in. Key ingredients: specifics about your funnel, a clear test size, and a carrot, your testimonial. Egos respond to carrots, red flag responses. Opt-in is always 60% plus. Nobody's always anything. I can't reveal rates, it's private. Translation, I don't track, or you won't like the numbers. Radio silence for 48 hours. If they ghost now, imagine post-purchase. Testing 200 clicks is better than testing nothing, but not by much. The internet parrots start small. Sure, but too small. Muddy's stats. On a $7 tripwire, 200 clicks might yield 2 sales by sheer luck or bad luck. I prefer 300 to 500 clicks for the first run. That range gives me roughly 100 to 150 leads, enough to see if open rates, click-throughs, and purchases float or sink. I tag that traffic as vendor name T1 inside my autoresponder. When receipts ping, I match PayPal emails to tags, then update a Google Sheet where EPC, CPA, and LTV calculate automatically. Yes, spreadsheets are boring. So is bankruptcy. Negotiation without the sleaze. Vendors expect a haggle dance. Do it gracefully. Ask for enriched filtering. Can we cap mobile at 60%? Request over delivery. Most will toss an extra 5 to 10% if you're pleasant. Bundle buys. Book 3 runs across 3 weeks. They get predictable revenue. You get a lower CPC. Never strong arm. You'll need these sellers again. Burn one bridge too many, and you're paddling without a paddle. My Antarctica adventure? A cautionary tale. Remember those Antarctic clicks? I bought from Snow Leads. Name changed for karma. Stats looked stellar. 48% got sales, $0.59 per click. Mid-run, I noticed several IPs geolocated at McMurdo Station. Cute, but penguins aren't my target market. Turns out the vendor routed traffic through random proxies to mask lower-tier countries. V's filter whacked some, but enough slid through to nuke my ROI. Takeaway: never rely on Udimy's filter alone. Pair it with click magic or volume. If you spot suspicious geopatterns, pause the run and file a ticket. Udimy's dispute team is surprisingly swift provided you've got screenshots. Using AI as your private detective. Yes, AI again. I pipe every vendor's last 50 reviews into a large language model and ask, summarize recurring positives and negatives. It spits back insights like, buyers praise fast communication but complain about high mobile share. Saves scrolling through endless thumbs up emojis. But robots hallucinate. Cross-check major points yourself. Think of AI as the intern, not the partner. The hidden KPI nobody mentions. Vendor attitude. Traffic stats matter. Attitude decides longevity. Sellers who reply fast, own mistakes, and speak in complete sentences will likely take care of you months down the line. The others vanish quicker than diet resolutions after New Year's. I maintain a top 5 tab vendors I'd trust with my rent money. Once you find those gems, treat them well. Holiday thank you emails, early notice of big launches, maybe even a tip. Goodwill compounds faster than compound interest. Spotting the disguised broker versus list owner. Some vendors don't own a list. They broker traffic from others. Brokering isn't evil, but margin stacking can hike your CPC without adding value. To sniff out brokers, ask, will the clicks come from your personal list or a partner's? Direct owners often brag about niche details. I built it from a ClickFunnels challenge group. Brokers mumble generalities. Beyond Udimi, cross-referencing on Facebook groups. There's a rogues gallery of solo ad buy-sell groups on Facebook. Search a vendor's name plus scam or plus review. You'll find the dirt Udimi missed. Proceed with caution, keyboard warriors. Love drama, but clusters of identical complaints are smoke signals. Building your vendor scorecard. Create 4 columns. Quality opt-in percent, sales percent. Consistency, variance over multiple runs. Communication, response time, clarity. Price, CPC net of over-delivery. Rate each 1 to 5. Vendors scoring 4+ across the board graduate to your scale tier. Below 3, relegate to only during launch scramble. This mechanical approach prevents shiny vendor syndrome when you're late for a deadline and tempted by someone's 50% off today banner. When to break your own rules. I keep a tiny wildcard budget, maybe 10% of monthly ad spend for experiments. New seller with a weird niche match? I'll gamble 200 clicks. Worst case, content fodder. Best case, I discover a diamond before the herd arrives. Remember, marketing is half discipline, half Vegas. Just make sure the blackjack table uses your wildcard chips, not the rent. The silent killer. List fatigue. Even top vendors drive diminishing returns if hammered weekly. Rotate. I run a 3-vendor carousel. Week 1, seller A. Week 2, seller B. Week 3, seller C. Week 4, back to A. Fresh eyes, less burnout, happier leads. Track per vendor revenue curves. When EPC dips below 70% of its peak, pause for a month. Your funnel and future wallet will thank you. The soft skills that save you. Thousands. Empathy. Sellers juggle hundreds of buyers. A polite, hope you're thriving opener sets the vibe. Clarity. Send your swipe, link, niche, and ideal start date in one message. Fewer back and forths, fewer errors. Patience. Good sellers book out weeks ahead. Plan launches early. Desperation breeds lousy choices. A glimpse into the crystal ball. AI-generated lists. Rumor mill says some enterprising folks train AI agents to scrape Reddit, bundle emails, auto-warm inboxes, and sell fresh lists. Cool tech, terrifying ethics. I'm watching with popcorn and a fire extinguisher. For now, stick to humans who've nurtured real relationships, not code that harvested usernames at 3 a.m. Your next steps: cue dramatic music. Open Udimi. Pick 5 sellers who match your niche and budget. Slide into their DMS with the chat before cash script. Log answers in your scorecard. Book 1-300 click test with the highest scorer, complete with tracking tags. Set calendar reminders. Review opt-ins at 24 hours, sales at 7 days, LTV at 30 days. Do that, and by the time Chapter 4 rolls around, you'll have data, not guesses, guiding every dollar. Grab a refill, stretch your wrists, and get ready to buy solo ads like a street-savvy negotiator rather than a kid in a candy store. The fun and the profit is just heating up.